Hello, hello, and welcome. My name is Michelle, and I am your emotional resilience coach, and it is fantastic to have you join me today. If you are sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you are feeling drained and exhausted and you just can't take anymore, and if you are sitting back and you're wondering, how do I keep getting myself in the same place? Why is it that the same thing keeps coming into my experience? What is it that I need to learn to get out of this hole? You are in the right place. This is where I was about 3.5 years ago. I was really, really sick. I was sick and tired, honestly, of being sick and tired. I was somehow just reenacting patterns from my childhood, and it was enough. I needed to learn how to take my power back. I needed to learn what I had to do to no longer be a victim in my own story. If this resonates with you, please do hit like, subscribe, share, and the notifications button. So what I want to chat to you really quickly today about is being a fawn on social media. Now, social media can be really exhausting for most people because the problem with social media is that it leans us into the world of comparison. We are seeing the highlight reel of other people's lives, and we are very aware of the dark in our own lives, and we just naturally start comparing. We're never comparing apples with apples. And what we do is we get ourselves into this rut of, what is wrong with me? Why can't I be better? Why can't I do better? Why can't I have that? And we just get really lost, and we lose confidence, and we lose self-esteem, and the inner critic in our heads. Now, inner critic, also known as inner parent, dear Fawns, might have been telling us things like, you're never going to measure up, you're never going to be good enough, I'm always going to be better than you. Whatever version that they would tell us could be in our head at the same time playing. And now we've got evidence that we're looking through, we're scrolling through all the time, that's just reinforcing that same message to us. And it can be really dark, and it can be really, really hard. So my suggestion, that for most people, I think that a balance is good. But if you are a fawn, if you are a struggling people pleaser, codependent, then you really need to, for your own mental health, minimize your time on social media. So some of the things I do and don't do. I do not go on social media first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, your brain is still susceptible to so much influence. It's really that part of the morning where it's just so influential that whatever comes in is going to kind of either make or break our day. And I don't start it with social media. I also don't end my day with social media when I'm tired. For at least the last hour before bedtime, I don't go on to social media at all. I leave my phone alone, let my brain kind of settle, give myself space to actually process my day, meditate, pray, whatever it is I feel that I need to do to kind of settle down without having information bombard me all the time. I am on Instagram, Emotional Resilience Coach. Come and say hi if you haven't yet. And over there, I love to chat. I love to share thoughts and ideas. Sometimes on a Friday, I do a fun thought. Other days, I just kind of share, what's going on in my mind at that time. And I have a lot of great conversations with a lot of people there. But what I try to do is I also minimize my time there. And as time's going on, I'm making it even shorter and shorter. Because what happens is we can get so sucked into, well, we've got to fix this person's problem. And what happened in here? And what do I need to do here? And the truth is that we're always going to lean towards wanting to fix and to wanting to save. And we need boundaries. We need boundaries for ourselves. We need boundaries for them. Boundaries for ourselves allows us to fill our own cup. It allows us to reconnect with ourselves. Social media inadvertently can take up so much of our time. On my personal page, I think I check in on my personal page 3 to 4 times a month, and I don't do more than that. I went almost an entire year without going onto my social media page, and I did it as a exercise to see how I felt, if it was better for me, what sort of insights I could gain from that experience. And for the most part, I found that it was actually really good. Number one, I never died. Number 2, I never missed out on anything really important. All the important people in my life know my number and they're able to phone me or come visit me or chat. Those who are family and friends who live far away, there's WhatsApp and there's video calls and there's ways in which we can keep in contact with each other. So I didn't actually miss out on anything too major. Another thing is the people that you follow is going to be really, really important. If the people feels like it's bringing you down, just be open to opting out. I know as a people pleaser, we want to be loving and accepting of everybody, but for your own mental health, be okay with opting out. Just hit that unsubscribe or hit that unfollow or do whatever you need to do to allow yourself the space to grow into your mental health so that you can become stronger. You know where you want to be. You know what your goalpost is. And you want to work for you and not against you. And unfortunately, so often in the world of social media, we are working against ourselves because we are inundating our brain with messages that sometimes inadvertently our brain is looking for. It isn't true, but we're looking for messages to confirm to us all the things that the inner critic / inner abusive parent has already told us about ourselves. We're not good enough, you're never going to measure up, you're never going to be better than me, you're always going to be whatever, and it's normally a derogatory thing. And so what happens is that when we're on social media, we're just feeding that inner critic. We're just giving that inner critic extra ammo, and we're like, yeah, you're right. So let's do this. Let me know if you're excited. Are you looking forward to just going into a little bit of a social media fast, or maybe just looking at a minimalistic way to handle your social media, to not be inundated from the minute you open your eyes to the minute you close your eyes at night with other people's thoughts, other people's opinions, other people's lives. Give yourself the space and the grace to figure out your own. If you are healing, if you are hormonal, if you are grieving, if you're going through any of these things that are particularly difficult, you want to minimize your time on social media even more. When I'm hormonal, I don't go on social media for that week at all. At least not my private account. My business account with you guys, I always pop in, post something. But again, I don't stay on too long because you need to allow yourself the space and the time to process what you think, what you feel, without getting messages of what you're supposed to think or supposed to feel or you're supposed to have, or you must go on this holiday, or you must look like this, or your kids must be like that. These messages that we kind of make it mean something about ourselves, especially if you are a codependent or fawn. We spent our whole lives looking outside of ourselves because our own world was just so shaky. There wasn't that solid foundation that we got to work on and build on and say, yes, this is who I am, now let's grow from here. We were kind of abused and bombarded and told negative, ugly, mean-spirited, bitter things about ourselves that really says a lot about the person who did it than us, right? It had nothing to do with us and their own pain. But because when you're so young, you're like a sponge and you just absorb it all. And you just believe it all and you internalize it and you make it mean so much about who you are and your own lack of worth. And so what ends up happening is when you are so drawn into social media, the messages that you're getting is feeding that inner critic, and you're just kind of subconsciously saying, yep, he was right, she was right, they were right. And it just makes us feel worse and worse about ourselves. So get picky about it. Get picky about what you are going to watch, listen to, who you're going to follow. If they don't feel good to you, unfollow them. I know, people pleasers, I know it feels like it's going to kill you because how can I be so mean and they didn't really do anything? And it's not about them. It really is a case of it's not about you, it's about me. I'm not choosing you or not choosing you. I'm not choosing you or not choosing you. I'm choosing me. I'm choosing my health. I'm choosing my strength. I'm choosing something that is going to work for me and be in my favor. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your fears. Let me know if you've done it and if it was exciting. If you haven't done it and you are scared, and come on over to Instagram and say hi to me there too. Please do hit like, subscribe, the notifications button, and let people know. Please do share, share, share. Have a most fantastic day.